Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back. We'll get started. Om. Om. Ganana Ganapati Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanspatana Shunvannutibhisri Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vityavat Om Ganeshaya Namaha Om Saraswatyai Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vagishadya Sumanasaha Sarvarthanam Upakrame Yam Natva Kritakritya Syuhu Tam Namami Gajananam Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu Me Sada Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarohitam Sadgurum Tam Namaki Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yasya Sannidhi Matrena Sarve Shishyascha Sevakaha Karmakshetre Pravartante Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham. Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. In the last class, we started with the topic of Maya. If you had missed out, on the recap. I actually took time to do one more last week. I suggest you revisit the lecture on Chinmaya Ramanam. And I've been asked to tell you guys, make sure you subscribe to it so that you get notified as the new videos are uploaded. With that, we will start to chant verse number 13 that we covered last week. Shaktidvayam himayaya vikshepavrutirupakam vikshepa shaktirlingadi brahmandantam jagatsrujet. Our Acharya here explained Shaktidvayam. Miss Maya and company, he mentioned, has two powers. What are they? Vikshepa Avriti Rupakam. The nature of projecting and veiling. The projecting power creates the world. What world? Lingadi Brahmandantam. Beginning from our own subtle body to this total universe. Jagat Srujet. It creates this world. I also explained to you guys last week, any effect must have a cause. And the cause must exist before the effect. Scientifically, we agree. Our Shastras also tells us that truth is the cause of the world. But truth or Brahman is changeless. So then the question comes about that the world is ever changing. How can this changing world emerge from that changeless cause? So to postulate that, the concept of Maya comes in. That is what I told you last week. So I shared the story of how this wise man distributed these 17 horses in that story by bringing his own horse into the equation to solve the problem. And by the way, I appreciate all the comments that you guys have shared, both online and offline, about this story. I'm glad that it helped you to understand the concept. We also learned that Maya is the nature of three gunas, three qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamoguna. Trigunatmika Maya. Its existence depends on Brahman. It has no independent existence. Brahma Ashrita Maya. Also, we say Maya is Yamasa iti Maya. What does that mean? That which is not there, but yet it appears to be. I hope you're clear so far. Then we saw the two classic examples of the rope and the snake, the post and the ghost. In the rope snake example, what happens? A traveler in twilight, kind of semi-darkness state, steps on the rope, mistakes it for a snake. He's frightened until a wise man comes into the picture, sheds some light on it, shows that it is only a rope. Very clear. Because of the non-apprehension of the rope, we misapprehend the snake. Similarly, non-apprehension of Brahman, we misapprehend the pluralistic world. I hope it is clear. The illusory snake or the ghost in these examples appear to be there. But on discovery or on knowledge, it is not there. So we say in Vedanta, it neither belongs to the category of Sat, existence, or Asat, non-existence. We say Sat Asadhyam Anirvachaniyam. It is an inexplicable phenomena. It is also called as Mithya. It is Gnana Virodhi. It is opposed to knowledge. So once we discover, it's gone. And I also mentioned Maya has two powers. One is Avarana Shakti, veiling power, and the other is Vikshepa Shakti. Avarana Shakti is the nature of ignorance, avidya. What it does, it veils the truth, and the projecting power, Vikshepa Shakti, comes in. It projects the entire world of names and forms. In our own case, the tamasic aspect, veils the truth. Rajas projects the illusion, and sattva helps to discriminate between the real and the unreal. That is our Viveka Shakti. That's why we need to hold on to that sattva, elevate it to Vishuddha sattva, and so on. Then what did we do last week? We also looked at the world and its substratum. In the 14th verse, let's chant that. Srushtirnama Brahma Rupe. Srushtirnama Brahma Rupe. Satchidananda Vastuni. Satchidananda Vastuni. Abdau Fenadivat Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana. See, in this verse, he gave us a very precise definition of creation. Srushti, what is this creation? Very clear. Sarva Nama Rupa Prasarana. It is an expression of all names and forms. Where does that happen? Brahma Rupe. Satchidananda Vastuni. See, Brahman is that reality which is of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. And he gave us an example, Abdau Penadivat. Like the ocean is nothing but water. We have a big wave, a small wave, a ripple, foam, bubble. All these are names and forms superimposed on that oceanic water. Last week we also saw how we can arrive at existence, that Sat is the ultimate cause of everything. I gave you examples of the cloth and the cotton, gold or the ornaments, to explain how this cause permeates through the effect. For example, in the gold and the ornaments example, the ornaments like earring, nose ring, have no independent existence other than gold. Very easy to understand. Without gold, ornaments does not exist. Therefore, Existence alone pervades through these names and forms. Existence alone is nitya, eternal. It is unlimited by time, space, and causation. And Vedanta calls this Brahman, this infinite entity, which is nameless, formless. To indicate what? To indicate that which is beyond names and forms. I hope it is clear. So, with that recap, let us get into verse number 15. Antardrug Drshyayor Vedam. Antardrug Drshyayor Vedam. Bahischa Brahma Sargayoh. Bahischa Brahma Sargayoh. Antardrug Drshyayor Vedam. Bahischa Brahma Sargayoh. Avrunotyapara Shaktihi. Avrunotyapara Shaktihi. Sa samsarasya karanam. Sa samsarasya karanam. Antar druk drshyayor vedam. The distinction between the seer and the seen. Brahma sargayoho. Between reality and creation happens only when it is supported by the veiling power of Maya. Make a note of that, please. See what it does. Antaha, inside, within, it veils the distinction between the seer and the seen. Recall that. That's where we started this text. And the distinction, bahihi, distinction between reality and creation outside. Inside, within, it creates a distinction between seer and the seen. And that avrunoti apara shaktihi sa samsarasya karanam. See, this seer and seen is applied with respect to jiva. What it does, the veiling power, it hides the true nature. Then what do? I mistake myself to be this body. Associated with it, I say I am a man, I am a woman with the gross body. I describe myself with all the attributes of the body, like I'm 5 feet tall, I'm dark complexioned, etc., etc. Then associated with my mind, I say I am sad, I am happy, or any other emotional agitations. Associated with my intellect, I say I am intelligent, I have the gift of gab, etc. So I start attending these Vedanta classes and I start to inquire. And when I inquire, I say the self is the witness, Sakshi. It is of the nature of consciousness. The body, the mind, and the intellect are all jada, inert matter. In that state of knowledge that has dawned on me, I say self alone is nitya. It alone is. Pay attention to this sequence of events in this shloka. Now let us apply this same logic while looking at the world outside, analyzing the world of names and forms, nama, rupa. Initially, before the inquiry, before vichara, under the influence of the veiling power of Maya, we would say world alone exists. Seeing is believing. Some people even go out to say there is no God, there is no reality. Some even might say, I accept that some supernatural power exists, but I'm not convinced. But we all forget that only because he has given that power to even make that kind of statement. Then gradually we start the inquiry further, and what do we say? The world keeps on changing. If there is a creation, there has to be a creator. At some point in my inquiry, we feel both world and God are real, but I am not deep enough in my inquiry to distinguish between the two. But only because of God's grace, anugraha, God's grace alone, he gets this ability to inquire further. And we say with the help of GPS, he navigates. With the help of Guru, Parampara and Shastra, that's our GPS. He slowly understands that the names and forms are a mere illusion. It has no independent existence. It is just a superimposition on the reality. I hope you got that one. Only through Swa Anubhava, direct experience, he knows that reality alone exists. Now, the world itself is not a problem by itself. We know samsarati iti samsaraha, that which constantly changes. But by itself, that does not cause bondage to us. What does? Due to my avidya or ignorance of my true nature, what do? I start associating myself with the objects of the world. The problem is with the identification. The problem is with the association. I start with my body. I say my wife, my family, my. This is the aham bhava, the mamata. What does this do? It gives rise to raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes. I like to do what I like to do. I don't like to engage with people I don't like. Vasana Anusari Jivana. In turn, that gives rise to what? Agitations. If I get the results conducive to me, I like it. If my actions produce unfavorable results, I do not like it. If it consistently produces results that I do not like it, I am angry, I am frustrated, I might even be depressed. All these over a period of time, I get disgusted with the objects of the world, people of the world, and turn towards the scriptures and the Guru for guidance. Then, because the compassionate Guru, he gives me a systematic approach to this problem to purify the mind, chitta shuddhi. He prescribes upasana, japa, etc. for chitta ekagrata, concentration of the mind. He tells me, get out of your family, do some community service, get engaged for chitta vishalata. And slowly the purified mind starts to inquire. With purity comes clarity. Clarity on the higher truth. Now, we will take it to the next level in this inquiry. We will move to shloka number 16. In this, he describes who is this jiva. Very important to define all these terminologies and have a good understanding. Let us chant number 16. Chant with me. Sakshina purato bhati. Sakshina purato bhati. There is also a Pata Veda. Sakshina purato bhanam also is there. Lingam dehena sanyutam. Sakshina purato bhati. Lingam dehena sanyutam. Chitichaya samaveshat. Jivasyadvyavaharikaha. Lingam, the subtle body or the linga sharira. We have already seen the definition of that before in one of the previous verses. Sakshinaha purato bhati. The witness in close proximity to the Sakshi. Pay very close attention to this verse. The witness in close proximity to the Sakshi or witness, dehena sanyutam, identifies with the gross body. Chiti chaya samavesha. Chitchaya, due to the influence of Chidabhasa, Chitchaya, the reflected consciousness, it is called Jivaha, Vyavaharikaha. He becomes the individual. Now, who is Sakshi? We know the definition, the seer. And who is seen? Subtle body, linga sharira, grass body, stula sharira, the objects of the world, drshya, All these are seen. And the reflected consciousness is Chit Abhasa. Chit Chaya, that which gives sentiency to the subtle body, the reflected consciousness, that in turn identifies with the gross body and enlivens it. Spurati. We have analyzed this before, but I'm going to restate this journey one more time for our benefit. How far have we come? How does it go in one's destination? See, all living beings, from a single-celled amoeba to a multicellular organism in this creation, to highly evolved human beings like us, are all in pursuit of what? We are all in pursuit of happiness. If somebody causes dukkham, unhappiness, we don't want to engage with those people. So in all these worldly pursuits, in order to eke out a momentary happiness, we seek happiness outside. Because our senses all are directed outside. All desire fulfilling actions are done for what? For my sake, me, my family. This phase in one's life, seeker, that journey is mamata. Filled with mama, 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 mama. This is mamata. What do? We change place, desha. We change, wait for better time, kala. We change objects, different objects we acquire. We engage with different people, vyakti, vastu. This is called in general paristhiti-vadi. We are all paristhiti-vadis in the beginning. He or she has realized that paristhiti has changed, but the manasthiti has not changed. Pay attention to this logic. 99% of all human population engages in the artha and kama. In general, few engage in dharmic actions. Only upon deeper inquiry, he begins to explore, hey, there is something bigger than me and my family, and slowly becomes from paristhiti-vadi to karma-vadi. At this phase, the seeker begins to ask, why am I here? How did I come here? How did I get this body? Who am I? And during this process of inquiry, he or she realizes that all the worldly pursuits that we have engaged in so far has a beginning and an end. It is all finite. It has dissipated our energy, drained our energy. There is a sense of limitation at the end, finitude. They are all causing pain, riddled with pain, and it leaves a sense of incompleteness. It leaves dissatisfaction guaranteed, we say. So in this pursuit, what do we call in Vedanta as Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti Paramananda Prapti? That is the goal. I don't want unhappiness. I want permanent happiness. Removal of sorrow and attaining permanent happiness. I don't want temporary happiness. he or she realizes at this point in his or her inquiry that the root cause of the problem is this erroneous notion that I am this jiva, I am this limited being. So far, are you with me? Now, but the desire to pursue happiness continues, persists. So everything in this creation is in that state of agitation until it reaches its natural state. You can inquire. For example, if water is heated or if water is frozen, it is in a state of flux until it reaches its natural state, which is the room temperature. We know that. So, in order to pursue moksha, which is the liberation from cycle of birth and death called samsara, no pursuit of finite objects, no pursuing of situation can give me infinitude. So the only solution, the cure for my chronic disease of ignorance is the knowledge of the true self. So at this phase, when he realizes that, he has reached a phase of samatha. From mamata to samatha, equanimity, equipoise, is not affected by the vagaries of the world. After getting this knowledge of self, only Upanishads or Vedanta, which deals with this subject matter of the study of the self, it gives me liberation. So the goal from Manava to Madhava, the goal from Bandha to Buddha is possible only through the study of Vedanta. I hope it. Now the seeker has become the sought. This is Purnata. So from Mamata to Samata to Purnata. I hope you caught that. Now coming back to our text. Without the witness, nothing would exist, because it is of the nature of Sat, existence. So the reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa, gives sentiency to the subtle body, and through the gross body, as the counter, we transact with the world. The problem comes when I say I am the doer, kartrutva, and when I say I am the enjoyer, bhoktrutva, then the transmigration has begun. From one body to the other body, I gather new and new vasanas. I have become this transoceanic traveler, traveling here and hereafter, ihaloka paraloka gami vyavaharika jivaha. I keep traveling from body to body, vasana, chinta, karya. Vasana, chinta, karya. Caught in this transmigratory cycle called samsara. Oh. How is one going to get liberated from this sorry go around? Not merry go around, sorry go around. That we will see next week. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asato Ma Sakkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I'll conclude today's session, and we will I'll open it up for